Breaking news: the cries of Russian soldiers attempting to flee the conflict in Ukraine. Russian soldiers on the Ukrainian front use the shorthand notation 200s to indicate dead and 300s to indicate wounded, according to audio intercepts. Since the desire to escape has grown so widespread, the term 500s is used to describe those who choose not to engage in combat. Russian soldiers are calling home from the battlefields of the Kharkiv, Luhansk, and Donetsk regions in Ukraine, according to secret recordings obtained by the Associated Press, suggesting that an increasing number of them want out as the war drags into its second winter. Since Russia has criminalized truthful reporting on the crisis in Ukraine, these calls provide a unique opportunity to hear the war from Russia's perspective, which is underrepresented in Western media. In addition, they make it easy to see how far the war has come, from the trained troops who powered Vladimir Putin's full-scale invasion to the ordinary men who have been forced to serve in terrible conditions. "There's no dying the death of the brave here," a soldier informed his brother while stationed in the Kharkiv region of Ukraine. "You simply decompose into nothingness, like an eel." Even though Moscow has been advertising military contracts, the possibility of another wave of mobilization remains. October saw the start of Russia's yearly autumn conscription draft, which drew in around 130,000 new young men. Conscripts are considered ready for mobilization as reservists after 1 year of service, even though Moscow claims they will not be sent to Ukraine. The Associated Press confirmed the callers' identities by consulting with family members and service members, some of whom are currently fighting in Ukraine, and by scouring public records associated with the soldiers' phone numbers. Some of the conversations were recorded near the longest and deadliest battle in Bakhmut in January 2023 and have been edited for length and clarity. For the sake of the soldiers and their families' privacy, we will not reveal their identities. Men who were unable or unwilling to flee mobilization are heard in these calls. They were left with no choice, no education, and no means. For some, it was a matter of patriotic obligation. One of them cut bones as part of their job at a meat processing plant. Still another was an attorney. Records revealed that a third individual, who had previous employment as a roofer and subsequently worked for a grocery store chain, was deeply in debt and had stopped paying his utility bills. Although it is difficult to gauge the sentiment within Russia's armed forces from these calls, the desperation is palpable, and there has been an upsurge in legal actions taken against Russian soldiers who declined to fight. According to the soldier in Kharkiv, the situation in Ukraine is simply genocide. He informed his brother of this. "We will soon be leading the Ukrainians to the Kremlin ourselves if this doesn't stop," he warned. "This is simply a massive testing ground, where nations are evaluating their and testing their weapons," he continued. That concludes it. However, there are additional accounts from men who are still determined to fight. A soldier named Artyom told AP at the end of May that he had been stationed in eastern Ukraine for 8 months without a break, and that he would continue to carry out his task as long as he was needed. "Please, quit bothering me with these pointless inquiries." When asked for comment, neither the Kremlin nor the Russian Ministry of Defense responded. The price he had to pay to go home was excruciating: his brother's life.